Hey everyone, welcome back to what's happening in real estate this week. I got Conrad Zerini with REMAX Escarpment, REMAX Niagara, best REMAX broker in the world. I know that because I work
awesome.
with him. And then we got Brian Hogben, Mission 35 Mortgages. You see his signs everywhere now. I got him spending some money out there. And myself, Rob Golfi with REMAX, the Golfi Team. Now,
best realtor
guys,
in the world. Definitely best
that's
realtor
it.
in the world.
Yeah.
Number
I
one
appreciate that.
In the world.
That's it. I appreciate that. So there's a couple things we're going to talk about. It says the Hamilton homes sold for a huge loss after 6 failed attempts. We've all gone through this. Every realtor has gone through this. They bought at the end or 2021, the beginning of 2022, and some of them had buyer's remorse. Some of them can't afford it. Some of them, they got into that frenzy of everybody buying houses. And but did you see like $260,000 loss?
Yeah.
Obviously, they can afford to lose $260,000. Not everybody can do that.
No.
Like I truly feel what they paid $981,000 on this house. I'd say maybe 2-3 years down the road, it'll catch up to there.
Yes,
I'd say.
Yeah.
So if they hung on to this house,
Yes.
they hung on to it. And it's just like the stock market. I don't play the stock market. I think, Brian, you dabble a little bit in some shares, no?
Tiny bit.
Okay.
I like to stay in my lane when it comes to real estate.
Conrad's probably got
yeah.
gazillions in there.
Yeah.
But was it Blackstone? You probably got Blackstone.
yeah.
You probably got all those. Conrad's always got the inside secrets on all these little things. You know what? For some reason, he knows information before even the spectator knows. Even he knows information even before the government knows. And I don't know how that happens.
Careful. We're talking about this inside. That might be. Okay.
I like when I get information from Conrad. I go, oh yeah, I love it.
I got good advisors.
I know. I just love it because you know what? Because everybody wants to be the distributor of information, right? And before it even hits the newspapers, before it hits social media, because I'll tell you, social media is pretty quick. But that's what I love. I'll get a oh, guess what? So I love it. So Conrad, like this guy, like 260,000. Like how many stories are like this?
Yeah, you know what? There was a story about the same type of thing in London, Ontario, same thing. Bought over 9, got 7 and change. Yeah, absolutely. But it's interesting. CMHC's coming out. They just came out with a report a month ago saying that we are going to see numbers back to 2021 and 2022 by 2025 and 26. They said it could be beyond all numbers. So. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, like real estate, everybody, look, we all got spoiled with this quick money and flipping and all that kind of stuff. Real estate's always been that hold, right? That medium term hold. Sometimes you can flip. Sometimes the market will allow you to do that. But there's times like this where you're going to have to hold on to it. And I will say this, it's much better than in the 90s because you got to remember, and we talked about this, took about 10 years for the numbers to catch up. The fundamentals out there with regards to housing, especially detached housing on the ground, the fundamentals is so in favor of growth. And the first time I agree with CMHC, we will see some interesting numbers in 2026. But you got to remember, you got to buy, and if you're buying and selling in the market, that doesn't mean anything. Like I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for
That's
that
right.
2026. If you're buying, you're going to pay a premium. So now this is that perfect window of opportunity to buy and sell and do very, very well.
And make sure you guys know about the delinquency, like you said, Conrad, there, because the delinquency rate is about, I think it's 0.17%. It is going to double. It has to double to be the norm of what it was. So when we end up hearing that the delinquency rate, and it will double, it is going to go up. But by it doubling, when that news hits the headline, it's still the norm. The other thing, too, that's interesting is I find when you see a story like that, when someone dropped the price by $260,000, like you said, Rob, they must have had $260,000 to lose.
Yeah,
well,
a lot of people don't have that.
True.
These people must have paid cash for their house. They must be older couple or whatever, older person.
But I think you take out a mortgage. Take out a mortgage on the property and ride out the wave. Because if you can afford to lose $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, even if you get an expensive mortgage, why not take out $50,000 to cover your cash flow?
Yeah.
To wait until the market comes back. I think that's just maybe bad advice and panic selling.
I think so too. I think these people probably got as as excited in buying because they thought that it was never going to end of homes going up in price. Then they got brainwashed. They thought the price was going to keep falling, and it was and it was never going to end in the fall. So they you're right, Brian. I think they got some bad advice from that guy that they work with at by the water cooler. they believe the guy that they believe the guy that's not a lawyer, not a realtor, not a doctor. All those.
No, but he's a great furniture salesman. He's really good at
That's it. They believe those guys. They believe the guy that just wakes up and he just makes up shit. That's it. Yeah, that's who they believe. But yeah, no, I know we've gone through this, and sometimes they can't even sell. Like they actually have to go to on closing date with a check to the lawyer's office and say, hey, you're short 200 grand, 150 grand. Like you said, not everybody has the money to lose, but these people did. And you know what? I'll tell you, like my big theory is you got to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. So if everybody is buying, that's when you sell. If everybody is selling, that's when you buy. And everybody, and that brings us into this thing from Bank of Montreal. And it says majority of aspiring homeowners are awaiting rate cuts before buying. You know what? Are you crazy? Why are you waiting?
I know.
Now's the time.
It's so silly. And I'll tell you two things. Number one, if you take it, if the rate that's going to go down is the variable rate. So if you're going to buy a house and the expectation that the rate's going to go down, take a variable then anyways. The other thing too is 1/4 point drop on a $700,000 purchase with about 10% down. It's $93 difference in your payment. Okay.
Peanuts.
And everybody's predicting right now, a lot of the economists, because a lot of people are waiting for that, the prices will likely rebound, and you guys will know better than I, 3 to 5% minimum when everybody gets back in the market. So on a $700,000 purchase, well, now all of a sudden you're up to $735,000. So to save $90 for a month or two, that's the other thing too. If you're banking on rates going down, you're only saving money for a couple months.
Rob, you're so right, though. You know where the insider trading is today? Is condos, micro condos in Toronto. There's some going for $499 now that we're going for $700.
See?
They're down 15% from just a few years ago. If you're really thinking about something to buy, and if you're a first-time buyer, that's the one to enter into. You can negotiate really, really well. And when the rates start to drop, those first-time buyers, what are they going to do? They're going to go after those micro units because that's all they can afford. So right now, I'd be as everybody's dumping their micro units in Toronto, this is the time to buy. You're 100% right, Rob. 100%.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know why. And you know what? The public doesn't really know. There is so many people living in hotels that the government's paying for because there is no housing. Yes. What's going to happen to the housing market? These guys are saving them. Who's the best savers in the world? Immigrants.
Yes.
They do not buy the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons, all those expensive looking things. They don't even pay $20 for a haircut. They cut their own hair. They use the Flowbee on their hair, and that's actually too much. And people that are older will know what Flowbee is. But what I'm saying is, but these people are going to be renting and buying houses, and you know what? I'm telling you. There's going to be another big boom. How long is the government going to keep these guys in hotels? Really? Like, how long? Are they going to keep them 10 years in there? Probably, because they're pretty stupid.
It's a lot of money. It's huge. It's huge money, right?
Yeah. But like I say, do the opposite. Don't wait now. My theory is get into a house now. The market is healthy, balanced. It's quiet. You got time to do a home inspection and everything. But when the market starts, and I'll tell you, with the interest rates coming down now, wait till spring of next year. Yeah. Look out, people. Get ready to sign those bigger checks because it's going to be killer. That spring of 2025, I'm talking about February, March, and April. You're going to see a huge difference in year over year in prices of homes that are going to happen. So
that's also part of the renewal tsunami we've talked about a lot because 2024 was a lot of renewals. They're around 20%, but 2025 is closer to 25 to 29% of renewals coming due. And I talk to people every day, and you know what they refer to it as? They say, "Oh no, Brian, I've got a unicorn mortgage. I'm not touching it. I got a unicorn. I got a 2%er. I got it." And I'm like, totally. So not only do you have the pent up demand, you spoke about new immigrants. Typically, a new immigrant's going to take 2 years before they enter into the housing market. We let in 1.2 million people in the past 12 months. You start getting into 2025, that pent up demand is in there. All the unicorn mortgages are up. So now it's like, I really hate my neighbors. Let's move because the mortgage is up. You got Conrad. I think you called it the double cohort before. You got that coming into play.
Coming in,
Just like what you said, Rob. So,
and you know, like you said, it's only going to affect variable. Like fixed will probably hover in around 4.25 or something along that line. But you know what? For that 50 basis points that they're hoping that fixed rates go down, you know, prices could go up about 10%. So it's outrageous. Like they're barking up the wrong tree. I would honestly suggest now, get your best fixed rate now. And like you said, you can go variable, but Brian, like even if it goes down 100 basis points, we're still going to be looking at 6 next year, right?
It depends. You might even get down to 5.5. You can get a 6. You might get down to 5.25, but you can get 5-year money under 5.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, like I think that's solid. That's you know what? Like I'll tell you, like Brian, you're a little tiny little bit younger than Conrad and I, but so you would understand this. So, but I mean, we saw interest rates at 12, 13%. Okay. Yeah. Our parents saw interest rates at 18%, 19%. I mean, like, and probably 60 plus years ago, maybe 55 to 60 years ago, when you had a interest rate at 6%, you were looked at like, wow, how lucky did you get that? Now we're not at 6% now. We're not like saying, oh man, you're crushing it. Like, definitely we benefited from this 2%, 3%. There's no doubt we got spoiled. I mean, we really got spoiled, and it's too bad it's affected it, and that's what drove the prices up. But they're not coming down. We went to a certain level and we got adjusted. Now it's there. That's it. That's the benchmark right there. And but yeah, like I mean, I don't think the interest rates. It is bad, but it's not that bad. I mean, we just have to live with it, and then we just got to make more money. Got to have 2 jobs. Yeah, you have to. A family household has to have each spouse has to have 2 jobs now. That's four incomes in one.
Well, you know what I heard? I got in a conversation the other day about people. You know what we've seen now? People getting divorced and still staying in the house. A whole nother podcast, but just because they can't afford to go anywhere, it's like okay. It's like remember War of the Roses? You know, tie the tape in the middle of the house, and it's like I'm on your side, you're on my side, and we're just staying in the house.
You know what? Not bad way to go. Cohabitation like that. They share in the appreciation of equity. It saves their family preservation of wealth. It's not a bad option.
You know what? I'm sure it's happening a lot. I think
there might be some therapy built into that as well too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure it happens a lot. For sure. Oh yeah. No kidding. I had one guy. He basically gave up everything, and this was in the late '80s because he was making tons of money. Tons. Just. You could have it all to the wife. Guess what? The 90s hit. He goes, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. He goes, I never recovered ever since. He goes, my wife still has that big house in Caledon. And oh my God, he goes, boy, did I screw up. I was so confident. So
you can't make a business decision on 2021. That's what I tell everybody. It's cheap money. You can't make a business decision on cheap money. It comes and it goes. You know, you have to be more sustaining than that.
Yeah,
right?
You know what? You're right about that. You're right. Yeah. A lot of people bought boats, cars, and RVs and vacation. Everybody just spent money.
That was the best advice someone told me. He said, you ever want to make a big expense, like a fancy car or a big house, do it after 2 consecutive of your worst months. And then if you still want to buy it, then go have at it. But
there you go. There you go.
But don't do it any other time.
Yeah, discipline. It's discipline, right?
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally. All the way. All the way.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're running out of time. Thank you so much. It was great seeing you, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks.
Great.
Thanks, Rob.